Good evening. I feel a little embarrassed being up here. I could have never gotten into this place, and had I got in, I'd never finished. Captain Dingess, how are you?
Good to see you.
Likewise, Jackie. Pigman Award that I lost represents a young alumnus or alumna whose daily life or profession exemplify strong character and good citizenship. They were probably, if you look at Wikipedia and you see that definition, it's Jack Dingess, Captain Dingess. Let me tell you some Dingess stories. First of all, we're real proud of you, bud. We're real proud of you guys. He's the guy that is in places where most people don't want to go. And he's, through his efforts and through his fellow servicemen and women's efforts, that we get the opportunity to sit here tonight and have a few cocktails. Our kids go out tomorrow afternoon and play football. It's all because of guys like Dingess who stand in the breach and risk their lives for our freedom. Way to go. Not bad. I first met Jack Dingess 12, 13 years ago. He was captain of my first football team here in 2004. We had 16 guys on that team. 16 guys, for you who aren't listening. 16 guys, and a kicker, Nicky McPherson. All right? And they did not quit. They refused. They had every reason in the world to quit. They didn't have a good, strong program at the time. They didn't play any JV games. The freshman team was almost non-existent. But when Dave Schleck and I inherited this program in 2004, we had 8 seniors. And I think most of them are here tonight. And Jack was the leader of that ragtag group of guys. They refused to quit. We were 2-7. 2-7, which usually gets people fired. When we look back on that year, it was one of the best years coaching that I ever had, because we had 16 guys that were all in. And they were all in. They played every Friday night. For the most part, they got their butts kicked. But you know what? At the end of those evenings, everybody on that field respected Shady Side Academy. And the leader of it was Jack Dingess. So there's no better recipient of this award than Captain Dingess. We are so proud of him. He was the epitome of a Shady Side football player. He was smart. He was tough. He had a little bit of an edge, 160-pound all-conference guard. You know, you need a little edge to do that stuff. When it was his senior year and there was a flood, I think we got postponed. And so George Bush the Younger came on a tour and was flying over the field in Air Force One, which I believe was a Marine chopper. And everybody, and Jack's looking at it. I said, "Hey, Jackie, you got to be careful. You're going to be in the sand with that guy." And he looked at me, he said, "That's exactly what I want to do." And here he is, 12 years later, making us all proud that not only is he a Shady Side guy, he's a football player, but he's a member of our armed forces, watching over our asses all the time. Captain Dingess, it's my pleasure to present you with the Paul R. Pigman Prize. Way to go.
Coach, thank you so much. This is something I never expected. When you look around this room, there's so many distinguished young alumni from Shady Side that I say with no false sense of humility that I'm really not sure I'm deserving of this. There's so many leaders in business, medical world, entrepreneurial world. Shady Side is such an impressive place. So I'm very humbled, very honored to be even considered for something like this. Shady Side, the values there, they've carried with me in everything I've done since I've left the campus. Looking back on it now, I realize how lucky I was to go to a place like Shady Side, where individual initiative, creative thought, diversity are all prized. You realize when you leave the bubble of the U.S. and go out into the greater world that those things are not, unfortunately, universal values. So looking back at my days at Shady Side, I'm so happy that I got to grow up there, got to be mentored by men like yourself, as well as many of the faculty that are in attendance today that I struggled through many of their classes. It made me a much better person, and I'm sure it's still doing that with the kids today. So across the board, I just can't say how thankful I am to still be a member of the Shady Side community and be considered for something like this. I laugh a little bit when you start telling these stories about our senior year team, because every year I think the team gets one player shorter. So I think we had like 20, and now we're down to 16, and in a few years we're going to be playing with like 10 guys, and like 3 of them are from the junior school or something like that. So it's great to see how that element is changing over time. But like the Phoenix, you rose the program out of the ashes, and you're a special guy for that. We appreciate you continuing the legacy of Shady Side football. It was at a pretty dark time when we were there. We knew you would turn it around. You were the wizard of the practice field. You used to wear the big hat with the big cane, walking around saying, giving us words of advice that no one really understood. And we're still doing that. So thank you again for all of this. Enjoy homecoming weekend. This is such a special weekend. Sorry I can't be there, but I hope to be there next year and all the years to come.
Thanks, Jackie. Watch yourself.